A very good morning to everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic week. It's Thursday already. The first few days just flew by from me. How is everything? I love the little weather report we are getting here. It's Margaret is saying it's sunny is Wales. I just love it. You don't need to listen to you don't need to look at any of the weather reports. We just need to come here every morning and we know how's the weather all around the UK. Morning, Chef Alison. Jenny saying is sunny in Weston-super-Mare. Good morning, Camille, Chrissy, Debbie. Debbie's from Christchurch. She says we're very autumnal today. It's quite autumnal here as well. It's a little bit overcast, but it's not too bad. It's quite bright, I guess, for overcast. Morning, Sharon. Sharon is from Chipping Norton. Good morning, Francis. Alison from New Zealand. Good morning, Sue. And Jean, Paula, Pamela. Oh, Pamela, Francis is saying very wet here in Perth too. Paula was saying very wet Aberdeenshire. Seema, good morning. Good morning, Lourdes. Anne, Jenny, Lorna, Jane, Leslie, Jitty, Susan, Margaret, Annie, Geraldine. There's so many of you here. Morning, Teresa, Brenda. Oh, Brenda's saying, good morning. Can you believe it is 1st of October? No, I can't. It's this year is just flew by for me. And there's probably about 80 something days left until Christmas now. Morning, Kirsty. Diane. Right, morning, Carol, Elaine, Gwen, Mercia, Sheila, Anne. Oh, loads of you love the series. Right, so first of all, I did ask you for some pictures last week, and some of you have sent me a picture. And I think there was a picture from Diane, but when she sent the picture through, I was out and about, and I didn't. Actually, I'm going to take off my jumper, because when I came down this morning, it was a little bit chilly, and I think the heating must have come on, because the room is getting warmer now. So when she sent the picture through me, I was out and about and I wasn't able to save it to my laptop, and I spent about an hour and a half last night looking for that picture, because she made a really nice V shape necklace. So I think it was Diane who sent it through me. So if you do, please do PM me to Crete Robinson Designs, and so I can show it to you, because that will come through, and hopefully I can get you on the screen. I got some other pictures as well. I got a picture from Lorna, I got some from Teresa, I got one from Brenda. Just to want to show you, we played with the right angle weave last week. Now, we had made, a little tester piece, and I was going to go and take this further and make something else, but unfortunately, with emptying out my craft room and everything else what was happening last week, I didn't have time at all to do anything. I've been going through boxes and boxes of craft supplies. Morning, Miriam. And Lorraine. Lorraine is from, she's saying it's overcast in Twickenham, and she's looking forward to continue learning more skills. So I'm going to definitely show you how to do the little button today. And hopefully today we're pretty much going to be finished with this shape, and we're going to be finished with right angle weave, and we can move on to something else. When we were doing the double drop peyote the other day, somebody suggested how about doing it with tile or tiller beads, and I'm really dying to have a go at that, because I think that would look really good as well. So hopefully if we get time in the end of the session today, then we will do that. If not, then that will be moved on to next week. But this session, this creation station session, I'm so excited about, because it's sort of led by you as well. So you can tell me what beads or what type of beads you want to put in there, and we can check things out together. I'm gonna show you how to turn the corner to make the V shape for a necklace. 84 days until Christmas. Thank you, Shane. Can you believe it's 84 days? But it's always the way. When the weather turns, I'm just start looking forward to Christmas. Morning, Alison. Morning, Mina. Sue, Carol, Charlotte. If you're new today, please put new in the comments, and just say where you're watching from, because we get people from all over the world. We get people from America, Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, Finland. So I would really love to meet you, and we can welcome you into our lovely beading family. Right, let's get started. I am going to turn you down to my mat, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures what has been sent in. So I'm going to show you how to turn the corner with your beading to create a nice V-shaped necklace. We have talked about how to curve this, and we could have a little go at that, I guess, later on. We need to make one side of it bigger than the other. But let me quickly show you the pictures what some of our lovely ladies made. So I'm going to show you one from Teresa. I'm just going to drop this in here. Oh, let's make that a little bit here. So Teresa made the bracelet. She used, I presume this is like, I'm not really sure what sort of clasp it is. It could be a magnetic clasp, or could be a slider clasp. Do let me know, Teresa, which clasp did you use? I love this one as well. She used, as I can see, like little fire polished, and used a rice shape bead to make up the bracelet. The same look what we have with our one right here at the bottom, but I think they are freshwater pearls what she used. They're a little bit different, but what I guess I want to show you that you can use different type of beads and get very similar look. I also have another picture from Teresa. So let's take this off, and I'm going to bring this one in. Now this one she used cat's eye beads. Made this one a little bit bigger, and I love this one as well. On the top of it she went and added more and more decoration, but the base of it is exactly the same. Let me just add me myself button and freshwater pearls. Yes, with this one it's just added a little bit more decoration to the top of it. I really do love it. So you can do more and more and more. It's up to you to how far you want to take your beading. Right, I got a picture from Lorna. Now Lorna tried and I bought some of this home today actually. She tried these lovely crystal beryl beads with the same pattern and added some seed beads and little crystals on the top. I think this looks really good, but what in fact we could have a little play. I can show you what I would do with this one, because I would turn this into probably more like hugs and kisses. So I would come and add another, zip it the other way as well if you use smaller beads, or you need one larger bead on the top to sit. You could use a 2-hole bead. You could use a lot of different things for this as well. So we might get a little play with this one, but I really love that. I love how the beryl beads look in that setting with the right angle weave, right? And I have got one here from Brenda. Now this is very similar technique, again right angle weave what she did, and then she went and filled the gaps in with the seed beads. Now instead of using, this is just the glass bead, but instead of using the glass beads in all 4 sides, on the sides of it she used a smaller glass bead, and it just makes your sort of little squares into rectangles. You could do all sorts of things, but this is all based on right angle weave. So I love all of them, and I love playing with these ones because they're really, right angle weave. When I first ever started I thought it was the hardest stitch I ever had to do, but right angle weave is the most versatile stitch as well, because I've been using it a lot. I keep going back to it, using in different settings with different beads, and you can create all sorts of shapes. Right, so how we did these little squares at the bottom, if you're new and watching for the Jen's saying, I love those beryl beads. I've got a good few strand, just need time to start. Loving your designs, girls. And Lorna is saying, I took it to pieces, didn't like the thread path showing, need to use a paler colored thread. or we can put a seed bead between it. But let me show you this how to turn here. Then I think I really want to cover up to show you how to do a little button clasp with this ones, because I think they look quite good and quite versatile. So if you don't want to use any metal components on your bracelets, you can always, and you haven't got a larger bead, a feature bead used, you can always make. And see how squidgy is this? So it's a really nice, like a UFO shape, I guess, to use it as a button. So let me show you how we can turn. I'm going to show you how to do the the button. I need a sip of my coffee, I think. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on this morning. I'm going to show you how to do the button. And then I got some of the crystals here. We can have a little go at that. And I show you how to sort of like show less of the same technique. We're going to add a few beads. Right, so how we did this right angle weave little squares, and I'm going to zoom in on this for you so you can see it better. It's coming right in. There we go. So we just picked up 4 beads, went through the thread path again to form a little loop, and then you adding your sections over and over again with the same technique, sort of snaking yourself up on a ladder. So I picked up 3 of these lovely beads, and I'm exiting at this side of the pearl. I'm gonna come through from the other side, pull this up nice and tight, and then we have our next little square on our pattern. Now I need to move along to the top to be able to add further beads. So I'm just going to go through one and the next one. Just like that. And I'm going to repeat it again. So I'm going to pick up 3 of these lovely pearls. I'm coming out of locating which pearl I'm coming at the end. I'm coming at this pearl and I'm exiting that way. So I'm going to come from the other side, pull this up nice and tight, and I got my next little square as well. Now, what happens if I want to, like, you know, I don't want this in a straight line, I want it in a V shape. Then instead of jumping and going through 2 of the pearls to be able to continue your thread path, all we're gonna do is just go through 1, and I'm gonna add my next section right here. And it's really that easy to turn your thread path and travel to a different direction. So again, I'm gonna pick up 3 pearls, 1, 2, 3. I'm locating which pearl I'm exiting out and which side I'm exiting. Then I'm going to come through from the other side to form my little loop on there. Pull this up nice and tight, and I got my next square and I turned. And now I'm going to go back to my original pattern where I'm going through, stepping up through 2 beads before I add any further beads. Just pull this up nice and tight, and then just going to repeat the same thing over and over again, picking up 3 beads at a time and continuing your beadwork that way. Does this make sense for everybody? Diane Moore is saying Messenger, the picture. Yes, I looked in Messenger everywhere, Diane, and I can't find it. And I don't know what happened to the message. Would you mind to resend it to me, love? Because then hopefully I can get it onto the screen. I would be really, really grateful, because you made this pattern and you added things on top of it, and the necklace looks really, really great. But I just, I can't find, I'm okay with technology, I guess, but not too great. So I can miss things and I can make things disappear quite easily, and can't find it. So this is how you turn. Now I'm going to pop this to the side and I'm going to show you how to do the, and we're just going to continue all the way to the top. Now, because one strand of pearl is not enough to do the whole of the necklace, what I suggested, and if Diane sends the picture through to us, then I can show it to you that how does it look like, because she used 3 different colors, shading it all the way up, and it looked really, really great. I'm just going to go into the messenger here and look if this one comes up. Ooh, I think, hang on 1 second, just bear with me. I think I can send this through. 1 sec, let's just bring you up here. Just give me 1 sec and I will bring it up. So has anybody had a go with this, or have you had any of our pearls and had a go with them? Right, messenger. Diane Moore, yes, I found you, yay! If I just pull this out, will it save it there? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we can do it. Very great. Right, so let me just come out of here, come back to you, and I hope this will work. Ta-da! This is the necklace what Diane made, and I love it. She used 3 different colors of pearls, a darker shade at the bottom and going lighter all the way to the top. And you can just leave it plain, or you can come back and add decoration to the top of it, how we did it with our little test piece last week. If you missed last week's video, you can always go back and check it. I think it's all different, you know, people will prefer different things, and we really went through and added loads of different ones. I like the crystals on the side the best, and I like the 4mm premium bicones with the size 15s because they sit nice and flat and makes my bracelet nice and flat next to it. So do check out last week video. Right, and Diane sent us another picture as well. This one is a bracelet. This is a different design, but it looks like she turned the corner. Am I right saying, because obviously lovely you designed it, did not me, it's your design. Am I right saying that you started with 1 square and then you always turned the corner as you were going up all the way to the top? Do let me know. I love it. I think this one is a really nice piece as well. But do let me know if that's how you did it, Diane. I think it's very interesting. And you can see just by using different beads and using a darker seed beads in one row and adding little picot beads at the edge just really brings the colors together. So well done, Diane. I'm loving this. This is really, really nice. Morning, Nat. Morning, Sue. Love the ombre effect, Diane. Sue is saying, let me just get rid of these pictures, and then that, yes, Diane, yes. So that's how she did it. That always turned the corner. So see how what I trying to aim with these sessions, that we can sort of bounce off each other and do loads of different bits of pieces. I think there is definitely, I just love it, because you will look at something with a complete different mind how I'm looking at it, and you will, you know, we all bounce off each other and create loads of lovely different things. Right, I'm gonna do the little button for you in purple as well. I'm just taking more thread off my bobbin because I'm gonna need that for that necklace. And I'm going to add a needle to it. Now, you only need a few little rice pearls or rice beads. Now, there's other rice beads are available on the website as well, which would work perfectly. And I think Simon was kind of us to give us a bundle. There is 9 different colors. These are sort of clear glass, exactly the same shape if I put them next to each other, maybe a tiny bit just chunkier, but exactly the same shape as the rice pearls, and they just glass. There is a red, there is a purple, there is a lilac, a grey color, a pink, an aqua, and a teal color in there. So you get all 9 colors. They don't forget these are double strands, so you get twice the amount of each one of those in the bundle. And I'm just gonna pop and very quickly have a look because I forgot how much what did Simon say, how much per day. Right, they were $15.75 if you buy them separately. Today together they're $11.99, and they will work the same way as you know, the rice pearls would work. And Molly added the barrels in there as well. But it's pretty much like today. I said, Molly said to me, like, what shall I add into the category? And I said to her, well, I'm not really sure, because I'm not really sure what we're going to end up using in the end, because I got all sorts of bits of pieces here. Right, let's do one of our little fastener, the little button. Now, I'm not sure if you have seen I'm going to use 2 colors here. So I'm going to use a darker color for the inner side and a lighter color for the other side. Just sort of, it makes it easier, I guess. It gives a nice look. I'm not sure if you've seen we did the beaded beads. Was it last week? I think it was last week. I love doing beaded beads. Beaded beads is... Diane is saying, Kitty, I started from the center of the necklace. Exactly, Diane. That's what I would have done as well. And I did here when I started this one. So I started, this will be the darkest color, and I'm going to ombre it out to the lightest color as I go along. But that's exactly what I did as well. So good thinking. So I'm gonna get a couple of colors. Now you need more of the darker color because I'm gonna use that in the middle, but we only need 6 of the lighter color. And instead of sewing 4 beads together with a right angle weave, here we're gonna sew 3 beads together, and that's how we're gonna form the little button clasp itself. So I'm gonna start off with a dark, a light, and a dark, because I want my end right into the middle. And I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to go through, I'm going to suspend this in my finger actually so you can see it better. I'm going to go through all of these beads again, and instead of forming a square, we will be forming a little triangle here. Just like that. Gonna pull this tight. Now I don't like to work right next to my tail, so I'm gonna go through the first pearl again so I can have a really nice and tight start to my necklace. I just got a little knot on my thread here. I'm just gonna undo it quickly. It always happens, all these little knots are always happen when you least expecting them. Some of them come apart really, really easily, and some of them, now this one is going. Sometimes I find it easier to stick a needle in it and try to unpick it with another needle, so I don't put any stress. Right, that's it. Our knot is gone. I just straighten out our thread. I'm going to pull it up, run my hand down, and we are back. So, as you can see, I want these darker beads in my inner circle, and I want this lighter bead on the outer edge. So because my thread here is pointing to the outer edge, I know I need to pick up a lighter bead, and I'm going to pick up 1 darker bead. So instead of picking up 3, we're just going to pick up 2 here. And I'm going to come through, I'm exiting here. I'm going to come through that pearl from the other side once again and pull it tight. And see, we got our second little section, and we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the squares and bracelet. We're just going to move along 2 pearls to be in position to add the next one. So now you can see my thread is sort of towards the inner circle, so I'm just going to pick up the dark one first and the light one second. Come on. And I'm exiting this pearl that way, so I'm going to come from the other side and just pull that through. Question, would this stitch work to make beaded links in a chain like the chain you made with square stitch? I have made a little cube shaped link. I think it would look quite good. Have a play, Lorna. That's all I can say. Have a play and see how you end up. That's how my sort of ideas come to light as well. Just sit down and have a little play and see what does it turn out. And if it's, you know, if you don't like it, you just cut it up. The only thing you have on there is thread. The beads you can rescue and use again. But I don't see why not. Like, you know, you could do like a little cubes interlocking each other as well. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just adding my last inner bead now because I just want to have this 6. It's quite important to keep your tension tight. Again, I'm coming out of this pearl, I'm exiting that way, so I'm coming from the other side and just pull this tight. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step up just 1 bead, just like that. And all I need to do is to join my end and beginning together. So I'm going to pick up my last remaining lighter color and I'm going to come down from outside to the inner side on my darker color at the beginning. And then I'm going to pull this straight. I'm going to go straight back out. And I formed half of my little bead here. Now this pattern, if you didn't want to turn it into a bead, I think it would make lovely great flowers as well. If you wanted to do a necklace where you wanted to have, you know, some sort of flowers, you could use drop shape beads as well with this one. And I did it before with a necklace, but I think I didn't do it with 6. I did it with 8 beads. And because if you use the drops, that they are, the thinner end is in the middle, they will lock with each other. Lorna is saying I was still working with 4. But now I want to make another side. I want to double this over, but just the inner part. So now what we're going to have to do, I'm going to weave my thread to the middle, but it will be the middle of the bead, but the outer edge of our flower at the moment. And quite simply, I'm just going to pick up 2 of the darker pearls. And I'm going to come back up through the same pearl I'm exiting out from, just creating another little triangle on the top. Now what I need to do is to fold this triangle over our little flower which is there already, and I'm gonna go into the inside, stepping up, and now I'm just gonna pick up 1 darker color and I'm gonna connect this dark color to the next outer edge bead. Come through this one just like that, pull this up nice and tight, and you can see it's folding on itself more and more. Now I'm gonna connect this one to the one I added in a previous, because I want my threads never go straight across, always turn in corners. Then I'm stepping up, so this time I'm not just going to go down, but I'm going to go across on my side bead one as well. Pull this up nice and tight. I'm going to pick up another pearl, a darker pearl, and come back down on the darker color pearl I just added. So I'm always completing that little triangle as I go along. And then I'm going to go along one, come up through the dark one, pull this up nice and tight, picking up another dark one, and then coming back through this pearl here and pull this up. Then going back up, just going around in little circles, securing the beads on one by one. Leslie's saying I have loads of rice beads to use up, some from yourselves. There's so many different things you can do, and let me just get to the end. So I'm just adding the last inner pearl here, but oops, before I pink my work across the room I need to finish it. So I added all the beads now, but I haven't got a thread path joining these two pearls and joining these pearls to this outer edge one. So I'm going to go along and just follow my thread path around into the middle, and I'm just sewing my last pearl together with my first pearl, going down to the edge and coming back up through the middle. And that's it. With that, we have completed our little bead. Now don't forget, you can use this for various different things. You can use it as a beaded bead, so you don't have to have it as a, you can turn it sideways and put, a necklace chain to it. So you get quite a few of them on a necklace, like a little sort of squished rondel shape of beads. Now what I do like to do, although even if I use it as a clasp or if I use it as a little beaded bead, is to cover up my little thread paths just there as you go around, and just add a little bit of a crystal, a little bit of sparkle to the just on there. I'm just going to show you how to do that. Now I like to do this at the end because you could make this beaded bead with modified right angle. We even add your crystals as you go along, but I like to do this at the end because now the structure of the beaded bead is solid, and all we're going to do is just add a decoration to the top of it. So if anything happens to the crystals or if it cuts the thread, it's not going to be a problem because our beaded bead is not going to fall apart. So I'm just going to grab some of these crystals. So these are the 2 by 3 millimeter ones. They're the ones I think which will fit in that gap perfectly. So I'm just going to pick up a crystal as I'm exiting out one of the lighter beads and just go through the next one all the way around my little beaded bead. You could add larger beads, you could try a pearl, like a 3 millimeter pearl or a 3 millimeter round crystal. I kind of like this little rondel bead because it just mirrors the shape of the rice bead further down as well. I think it just fits in it really nicely. And if you're going to use this in a bracelet on the sides, then it just makes sense to use the same crystal on the button clasp as well. And I usually go around a couple of times, just reinforcing it. The more you go around your little beaded bead here, the more solid it's going to turn. And that's it. Going all the way around. How is that? What do you think? Would you like to use this as a bead, or would you like to like we use it more as a button clasp. If you use it as a button clasp, you can always have a after you sew it on the bracelet, you can come back to the top and actually add a round have I got a round bead? I have a round glass pearl or round 4mm crystal or something like that, just to sew it into the middle there to cover up your threads there as well. I think that would look really good as well. But I think after you add it to your bracelet, that's when you need to come up to the top. Now I have got a bracelet here which I haven't covered up my thread path. So what I did here, just went around the middle just to tighten it up, and it made my little beaded bead a more rounder, and it's really exposed those thread paths there, and I don't like it that much. So I like the version where I covered it up with the little crystals, and it's just nice and neat, and it's like that because you don't see your thread path so much. There's just sort of a little bit of mystery around how is it made, and I think that's what was so great about it. Right. So we still got plenty of time. Let's have a look how what Lorna was doing, and let's have a look how we can turn that into a, she said she didn't like that the thread path was showing, so let's see how we can remedy that. Debbie's saying I really like it as a button. Paul is saying that's pretty, that looks lovely. So you all like it. Do let me know as we go along, because sort of this is the second time we're doing this creating station that I do need a little bit of, I guess, encouragement that you're liking what I'm showing to you. Right, so I got this color here, and I put so many different beads in my stash there that oh, actually, and let's get this one out because I want to have a go with showing that one. Right, so if you don't want to see the thread path on the side, because these are a little bit different shapes, so they are more of a barrel shape, the ends are quite fatter than on the rice pearl. So if I put the two next to each other, so you can see in lengthwise they're exactly the same length, but the rice pearl goes into the point in either end, and these barrel shapes are still quite wide at the end. So when you're trying to add these into a square shape, you're always going to have, see, more of that thread showing on the corner, like with the rice, because they are, the edges are sort of go thinner. You're not really going to see that thread path that much. Right, so what you need to do is to get some seed beads, and I'm just going to grab some from my stash here. Which one shall we like today? I love these boxes, my storage boxes, and I have my seed beads in there. So I get the storage box out, I just take the overall top off, and then I can just pick the bead up. Let's go with this one. Nice and bright color. Will this show up, or shall we go with a lighter one? No, I think I'm going to go with this one because this is going to show up better. Actually, we could do like a pink color with it as well. Now, I think I'm going to go with the purple. I like the purple. Let's pop that to the side. Right, and I think that will go with this one as well later on. Right, so I'm just going to cut my string. Where is it? For a second, I lost my scissors. Oh, Bernie, I like what you're thinking. This would look lovely made into a tassel pendant. I think that would look really nice. So you could do a tassel at the bottom, either with seed beads or thread or anything, and this would be your feature at the top. I really do like that. If you do make one, you know what to do. Please post a picture into our group, one of our group, handmade group, or anyone like that. Right, I am just going to pop that one to the side, and let's have a little play with these lovely barrel crystals. I love them. They're just so sparkly. I need another little needle, and I'm going to need more thread. So I think this one is a little bit darker, so I'm going to use a darker thread with this one. So with the pros, I use the lighter thread. Now, because I'm working with darker beads, I'm going to use a darker thread, and it's going to disappear even more on the corners. And just going through that needle. This is always the nerve-wracking moment when you're trying to thread a needle live on air. And I usually do like a needle threading face, like a really silly face, like really concentrating on it. Keep forgetting that you can see me in the corner. Morning Kitty, morning Angela. I love the crystal barrels, but they always break my thread. I haven't had that problem with it. Maybe you have too tight tension on it. I do use Supalon D with it, which is the little bit thicker one. And because you run down and up on the side of it, you shouldn't have that problem with it. Breaking the thread. I certainly haven't. Diane is saying I found that use Surfilon instead. All sorts of different threads are available out there. I love this because that one I want to pick up first. I love Supalon because it comes in so many different colors. So what we're going to do here is when we're picking up our pattern of 4, we're going to pick up a seed bead between. This is quite exciting. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I haven't tried it previously. So if it's going to be good, it's going to be good live on air. And if it's not going to be good, then we will know. Right, so I picked up one barrel, a seed bead barrel all the way along, and I'm just going to loop this around and go through all of those beads again. But if you do this, that you add a little seed bead to the corners, you're actually taking some of the stress away from the thread that perhaps it could rub against the crystal, because it's the little seed bead is there to act as a little spacer bead. I'm just going to go all the way around. Now, I could knot my tail end and my working thread together, but I'm not going to because I don't want the knot to go into my bead. So we got our first little square. Now, continuing forward with our little squares, the pattern we need to pick up is 1 seed bead, 1 barrel, 1 seed bead, 1 barrel, 1 seed bead, 1 barrel. So you got 3 barrels and 4 seed beads on your needle, on your thread, and you're coming out a barrel bead itself. And now I'm going to go through that barrel bead again, pulling this up, and I think this is going to work beautifully. And I'm going to take this off my finger because I got something to hold on to now. I'm going to move along, so I'm going to go through next seed bead, barrel bead, seed bead, and the barrel bead at the top, and pull this up. And again, I'm going to repeat it what I just did, exactly the same. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead, a barrel bead, seed bead, barrel bead. Oh, I'm liking this. I think it looks good. And another seed bead. Pull this through. I think that looks good, and I'm gonna step up. So I'm gonna go along to the furthest barrel bead, and I'm coming out, just gonna go into that barrel bead, and I'm coming out the barrel bead itself. I do really like this. I think this is gonna work really nicely. And I think like we had the barrel beads, we featured them in different stitches, so you might have, oops, and I dropped them all, might have them home already, so just do have a go at it. If you make anything, please put a picture up in the handmade group. because then I can, with your permission of course, I can grab that picture and then we can show it next week. Right, I'm coming through the barrel bead again. So I think this works beautifully. And I would, you don't have to, you can add a pattern into the middle. I would probably add more than just a line of beads. I got various different beads here. I would probably step up and add a larger bead into the middle. I think that would look quite good. So when I'm adding a larger bead, when I'm deciding on what size of, let's just do a couple more squares. So we got more, to put on the top of it when we come back. So when I'm deciding what to add to the top, I always, before I cut the strands down, or even if I just have the beads themselves, not on a strand, I just pop it down on my mat. I put the beads on top of it and just sort of reflect it and just think about it. How's it gonna look? The overall look, what I want to achieve is that the barrel beads at the bottom, they're not just there to support the beads on the top. I really want to see them as well. So if you choose a really large bead to go on the top, that would cover up our bottom row, and you know, we've got all this beautiful work going on the bottom. You don't really want to cover that one up. Jenny's saying, question, diamond pendant kit I find is very loose. If I tighten the thread breaks, could I put a seed bead between each crystal, please? You can try, but you will end up with a bigger pattern, and then you still need to fill it with something to cover up your thread path. So I just actually had one here this morning, yeah, when I was, this is the one you are asking about, Janice, is that right? Just do let me know. I find that if you keep a nice and even tension on the tighter side, but a nice and even tension, but I don't over pull it, because if you over pull it, yes, your bicon can cut your thread, but it's still a bit floppy until I go and add all those seed beads in there. And even when I added the seed beads and added a little loop on the top, I often just go around and strengthen the sides, just keep going around until I either run out of thread or I no longer can take the thread through the beads on my pendant. So that's how you sort of tighten it up, because when you first make it, it can be a little bit softer. Just gonna come around. I'm just gonna pop that to the side. Should imagine 11 O's, that's what I'd use and look like. Yes, these are 11 size 11 seed beads, and the crystal barrels are 4 by 7 millimeter, I think. I'm sure that's right. That rings a bell. 4 by 7 millimeters, so 4 millimeter in width and 7 millimeter in length. I'm sure that's what they are. Right. Just do a few more before we add something to the top. So we can look at different options then. We can have little tryouts. But I love, you know, I got loads of beads in your stash, but I love making little tryout pieces, and like this one we made last week, I will not cut this down because I can come back to this later on and reference it, which bead worked the best, because 6 months down the line, a year down the line, I might forget how did it look. And even though you could take a picture of it, but it's not the same as looking at the physical little sample. So I call those little samples as tryouts, and I just pop them to the side. I got a whole box full of them, and then time to time I go through the box and have a look how things look or what I made, and it's just really sort of great, because you will look at it with fresh pair of eyes and come up with different sort of designs and different bits of pieces. I really do love it. So I'm just going to add a few more. Again, if you had different colors of these, you could ombre them, or you could add them to, you could do whatever you like, it's your design. I do like to flip-flop the bracelet as I go along, so I always sort of work away from myself so it's quicker to do the stitch itself. You could try with size 8 seed beads between, not size 11s. You're just gonna make it a little bit more chunkier. It's up to you, but it's all playing. It's all just sort of sitting down and playing with your materials. That's I guess that's what I love the most. It's like, you know, when the children, or when Christopher just goes into a Lego box and makes something, just sort of makes something up as he goes along. I think that's what I love to do with beads as well. You just get some beads out, have a little play with them, see how they fit together. I think that's so exciting. Right, I'm going to add a couple more, and then I'm going to turn back and we're going to see what we can add to the top. And actually I might go and grab a cabochon, because that might work, like a check cabochon which has got 2 holes in them. That properly would work on the top as well. Right, so I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm going to grab a cabochon, so we got everything here. What we need is just behind me. I still haven't emptied this, so I'll have them all here. A nice purple one, which I just put my hand on. I think it's going to work quite well as well. So we're going to try this onto the top. Or actually, will it fill inside it? And this is the beauty, like just trying out different things. Just pick a few of these out. How would this look? Ooh, this fits inside it. I think that looks really, really great. Ooh, I might even abandon the pearls and just use these ones, because I was gonna have a look yesterday when I picked the materials up. I was gonna have a look how I can add just 1 pearl to the top. I think that would look as well, but look at that cabochon, that just fits right inside it. So let's have a look at this. I just sort of pause for a second and see where I'm going to connect it. Now these ones, because they got 2 holes, I have to think about it. I need to link both of those holes up with a barrel. And the other thing what I need to think about is that I don't end up, as I'm adding them onto there, I don't end up with 1 cabochon sort of upside down. So because they got 2 holes, we want to come out, if we are adding something with 2 holes, not necessarily want to zigzag it. I think we are better off to start coming out of the seed bead here. So if I come up through the seed bead, go along 1. Let's try that. And then I'm going to go up. No, because then I haven't got anything to connect it into. Have to come at the barrel bead or the seed bead? No, seed bead. Let's come at the seed bead and go. Yes. Right, quick sort of a few seconds brain session here. Right, I'm just going to pick up a seed bead. I'm going to go through, I'm going to make sure, as this cabochon's got 2 holes, so there is a hole there, and there is a hole on the bottom as well. They got 2 holes. I'm going to make sure I'm going through the top hole, and I'm making sure I'm going from right to left, and I'm making sure the dome side always sits to the top, because the other side is flat. So I'm going to take it all the way down. I'm going to pick up another seed bead, and I'm going to go up through this seed bead and along the seed bead just there. Or will we need a seed bead between? No, I don't think so. I think that will sit just fine. That's right. And then I'm going to pick up another seed bead. I'm going to pick up another cabochon and another seed bead, and I'm going to go along and go through the next 2 seed beads. So I'm running down on one side of the basenet. It doesn't matter if these are sort of not flipped around yet. Once we come back on the other side, they're going to turn and they're just going to sit there. I think they're going to look good. So this is how a pattern, or this is how something, I guess, being born on my bead mat when you do something like this, because this is what you do. You sort of sit down and you just play with it. I think that's going to look good. So let me add one more, and we're going to turn around and see the how does that going to look, because I really want to try the pearl as well, so we can compare it, adding things to the top. Tile bead or tiller bead, that would look good as well. Ooh, I am I'm gonna be here forever trying things this afternoon, I guess. So I'm gonna turn around. So I just crossed over in that barrel bead, and now I'm just gonna pick up a seed bead. I'm gonna go through the other hole on the cabochon, pick up another seed bead, and go through those two seed beads on the side. So I'm coming back up on the other side. So I'm complete. Ooh, that looks really good. I really like that one. And again, and with this one you can see, because the cabochon fits sort of inside those barrel beads, you're not really covering any of the barrel beads up. You are just enchanting them, enhancing them, because they look really nice against the sort of matte finish of the cabochon itself. I like this. I might even turn this one into a kit, because I think this looks really good. Just a different decoration. And coming up through that. And finally I'm going to pick up a seed bead and go into the last one here. I think that looks really good. Sheila's saying it looks good, Kitty Robinson Designs. A cube bead. Yeah, you could add a cube bead as well. We have got some diagonal cube beads. I haven't got any here, but I know we do have some diagonal cube beads hematite. Perhaps that would work quite nicely as well. Tile bead. Where's my tile bead? And I did leave it here. Tile bead would probably work. I'm just gonna pick up a random color. But I'm keep looking for a purple random color. Oh, look at me. This would, I guess, work as well, because they're similar sizes to the cabochons. So yes, that would work. Oh, look at that. That looks really nice as well. I think if you, well, no, I think if we still add a seed bead, so it gives that little bit of look that it pops out from the pattern from underneath. But I think, look how flat that would sit in there as well. So have a go at that as well. And this, the cabochon sits nicely inside those the little barrels, so do have a go at that as well. So look, just by we doing the same technique what we did last week, but just by changing a few beads and changing the beads what we add to the top of it, all of a sudden we got a completely different looking bracelet. And this is what I love about it. With this one, with the beads, we just zigzagged it, so we just got one sort of side going. If you wanted to turn into hugs and kisses, then we could come at smaller beads and come back and cross it over, like how Lorna had it in a picture. And I'm just going to quickly go back to that picture and bring it back in. See how Lorna had it here, that she just added 2 seed beads, and this one looks like a little bicone bead or little rondelle actually, little a rondelle crystal bead, another 2 seed beads. Now if you came from another 2 seed beads from this side, gone to this little rondelle, and then gone to the other side with another 2 seed beads, then zigzag yourself all the way back to the top, that would make your X's on the top of the barrels, and that would look really good as well. So you could have You could have all sorts of different bits of pieces. What do you think? What would you prefer? Would you prefer something like what Lorna did and come back on itself and add just more sort of decoration to turn those Z's into, yeah, Lorna is saying rondelle is rondelle. Sometimes it's just sort of quite hard to see on a picture. Or would you prefer something like this, what we did, to add a 2-hole bead onto it? And what I'm gonna quickly run down to here, and I want to add an 8mm glass pearl on the top of it and see how does that gonna look. All sorts of things we could do. But if you haven't got anything, do give us a picture and I will show it off next week. So now, because I went through these beads already, I'm just gonna run down all the way on one side. The more you run down on one side, it's gonna straighten up those little beads what sits there. And just pull this up out the way. Keep going through. Right, I'm just getting down to the bottom. I'm gonna cross over in that bead. And what you reckon? I reckon 8mm will fit in nicely. So let's try this 8mm big round pearl bead. So I'm just going to pick up the pearl bead on itself, and as I'm coming out of that crossing barrel, I'm going to just jump down one and go through the barrel itself again. So I'm not going through the seed bead this time, just the barrels, and pull it up. Now this is definitely going to sit on the top, and because I do that, see how it's pulling my squares? So in fact I would prefer those, but I'm not gonna sort of just give up on it just like that. Let's try a 6mm pearl. So I'm just gonna grab a 6mm pearl here and see how that behaves. What you guys? Oh, Danny's saying don't like them sitting too high. Yes, I think it's sitting too high too. It doesn't look good. So 8mm is too big. Both the cabochon and the tie would make lovely everyday bracelet, Sue is saying. Lourdes is saying I like the cabochon or the tiles. Morning, Sheila. I prefer the cabochons, Paula is saying. Jane's saying I'd be tempted to use a fire polish to fill in the top corners, if that makes sense. Yeah, could do anything you want. It's your design. So we're gonna try the 6mm pearls because the 8mm we all agree it's too big. So I'm gonna pick up a 6mm pearl, take it all the way down, and I'm just gonna jump that zigzag again. So now I like this better because this will fit inside it nicer, but you have got a little gap and you can see the thread path just there. Just take that out from underneath, and if you're looking down from above, you can see that thread path is showing, and I'm not liking that. So I'm going to try with picking up one seed bead, one pearl, one seed bead, taking this all the way down, and then we're gonna come through same as we did before. I like that one better. I think that sits nicely. So 6mm with a seed bead on either side does fit into that gap nicely. But I think no matter what I try now, it's not going to be good enough because I really do like these cabochons. So no matter what, how many beads I'm going to try, or no matter what else, because I like those cabochons, I think that's it. So once you find something what you really like, that's it. You don't want to to change it. A size 15 seed bead either size. I just added the size 11. I think that worked quite nicely. Fill the gap. You could do, but when I design something, and when I design bracelets, and especially when I design kits, Linda is saying the cabochon or the tile looks better. Definitely. I love the cabochons. Let's try the tile. We got 2 more squares left here. Let's try the tile, adding the tile in. So to edit the tile, we're going to have to edit the same way as we added the cabochon. So I'm going to go through this seed bead and going to pick up this tile. No, we said we're going to add a seed bead on either side. So a seed bead, tile, seed bead. I'm just going to jump and come through the next 2 here. And I'm going to repeat it for the last one. Picking up a seed bead, tile, seed bead. Then I'm at the end. So I'm going to come through that seed bead, the crystal beryl seed bead, jumping to the other side. I'm going to make sure I'm turning them to the top. And I'm just going to repeat it, going back up with the seed bead, then going through the tile, picking up another seed bead. Linda is saying the pearls distorts the barrel beads. Absolutely, yes. I don't like them. I think when you find something what you really like, you know you really like it, and whatever else you try. So when I design something, I usually like that one with the cabochons, that what I would have done first, and exactly the same way I will go, even though if I really like the look, I will go and try some other beads out just to make sure there isn't anything better out there what could fit my bracelet or fit the bead or fit the hole or anything I'm trying to design. And 80 times out of 100, I guess, or 8 times out of a trend, 80% of the time, that's what I was gonna say, I always go back to my original first design. I like the tiles too as well. I think they look great as well. Perhaps with the tiles, the size 11 seed beads are too big because they got corners. So they sit more to the top, and with the cabochons, because they shape of round, they are a little bit smaller on the edges where we're adding them on. So yeah, but do have a go. Do have a go either one of those, and then pop a picture in. I prefer tiles flatter. So if I look at it from the sideways, yes, tiles a little bit fatter. Definitely no to this big ugly pearl. Well, it's not ugly because it's a lovely color, but it comes out too much. 6mm pearl is okay, but I think the tiles and the cabochons are winning. It's just a lovely little design. Could try with size 15s. If you had size 15s at the top here instead of 11s, it might just fit together better. But do have a go, and if you have a go anything, post a picture so we can all see it. Diana is saying she thinks 15 would sit better. I agree with you. Have to have a go. Right, my lovelies, I do have to run, so that will be for me today. Try, sit down, have a play. I think the only thing we haven't tried is we haven't tried using these lovely hourglass beads, and I really do love these ones because I think when you create a right angle weave pattern with this one, because of the shape of it, and I'm saying if I get time I'm gonna try it, but I know I'm not gonna have time because I'm still emptying out the office and at the home office they're coming to fix the ceiling next week, so we're gonna be living in a bit of a building site. But if any of you have some time, do have a go, because I think this again would house something bigger on the top really nicely, because you got those little dips inside there. And do pop a picture into our group so we can see it. 4mm fire polished. Not sure what they're called, but you could use the 2-hole crystals to add something bling. Yes, you could use anything, anything you like. Kitty message picture with these. Let me have a look if I got a picture from Diane right here. And then, no, I just got the pictures from you, lovely, what you sent through earlier. Is there a different one? Let's Oh yes, you got this one. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna bring this in. One sec. Hang on there. I just need to go back to my Facebook, bring up Messenger, and then I can show you the picture there and then. This is really great. I love this, that we can have everybody showing their pictures. Right, there we go. Where is it? Oh, I need to look for you, Diane. There we go. I got the picture. I'm just going to pull it to the side. And there we go. So I think that looks really good as well. So Diane used the hourglass beads here. And then you have the rice pearl in the middle and the seed beads on that side. I think that is a really pretty bracelet. That looks really well done, Diane, as well. Yay, well done. It looks really, really good. And see, like, just by doing something and tweaking it a little bit and doing it in different ways, you come up with all sorts of different ideas and different ways to make them. And they look so fantastic. Paul is saying that was fun. Take care all and enjoy the rest of your day. Angela is saying goodbye. Let me just come back to my main camera. I'm just gonna take that picture off. Thank you again for lovely demos. Sue is saying, oh, Halloween. Oh, Sue is saying yes, Halloween is coming up soon. Now we are in October. We do have to think about Halloween. I do love Halloween. One of our friends, they always do. I don't think she's going to do it this year though, but she always does up her house and, like, you know, that's what she does. She does Halloween every year, and I really do love it. And with Christopher, we haven't had a time yet. We were going to do it last weekend, but we didn't have the time. We want to make some spiders, so hopefully that's coming very, very soon. In the next week or two, we're gonna sit down and make it, because Christopher loves scaring his sisters and sort of anybody else. So he's a little mink, because he gets up very, very early in the morning. So he would get up like 5-6 o'clock, because his biological clock works that way. And my Lucy, she would get up later, let's say. Bless her. Well, she's a teenager. She would stay in bed all day if she could. But what he did before is to creep into the bedroom and put a little very realistic looking plastic spider right next to Lucy's, sort of on Lucy's pillow, like just a little bit away from her head. And oh my word, I mean, you should have heard the scream when she woke up. That it was, I think they even heard it in all the way in Hungary from England, because she really, really freaked out. So Christopher, we were talking with Christopher, and he would love to do some spiders, and I have got quite a few ideas how we can make some good ones. So I think we might have a play and we can bring some to you and show it to you. Francis saying, great demo today. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for watching. Lauren is saying, lovely day, and thank you, Kitty, for today. Thank you so much for the pictures. And because obviously we're using this software and it allows us to bring all these pictures in, I really love to share your pictures as well. So do message me your pictures so I can bring it in easily into our little production here, I guess. So well done, everybody. Thank you so much for the pictures. Enjoy your day today. Check out the website. We got various different bits of pieces on there. If you need pearls, the rice pearls, if you fancy the any of the beads we used today, do check out. I'm sure Molly's added to the pages. Oh, Geraldine saying, oh yes, spiders, the only way I like them. Yes, great ideas. Love the cabochon. See you tomorrow. Jenny's saying. So yes, that's it for me today. Sarah is coming down, so it's gonna be double trouble tomorrow, I guess. We're gonna be going back into the warehouse and doing a little bit more in the findings. I'll just sort of educating you what is there and what you can use it for. So that's going to be tomorrow. And yeah, so join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. And again, Sarah's down Saturday, Sunday as well. So hopefully it's too cold to sit on a veranda now, but we'll have a lovely time. I love when she comes down because it just, we just bounce off each other so well. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.